All right, this is going to be a little different. I actually forgot to record my mic audio for this particular draft, so we're going to start from the beginning. I'm recording over, so I actually don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to do it anyway. So here we go. We got this is our first pack here, first pick, and looking like Power Armor is clearly the strongest card. I would say that Pouncing Kabu, Razorfoot Griffin, even Raging Kabu, Galena's Knight, and Kabu they're all pretty like mediocre. Soulburn, not my favorite removal spell, so I think it's just power armor pretty clearly above the rest. Keeps all your options open. It's just really going to be a good card. You're going to always be in three colors, so it's basically just any of your creatures are going to get +3/+3, maybe more if you're playing blue. You have to kind of wait and see about that, but at least we know that we're starting off safe. So we're going to get a clear signal from whoever's passing to us, and we'll have to see what we get next. I don't know the exact contents of what this deck is. I did look and see which colors it is, so I have some idea, but it's almost like I'm redrafting here, which is kind of funny. So, all right, we get past Tribal Flames, and I see Banalish Heralds as well. Tribal Flames, and Banalish Tapper. So this is actually three very strong cards in the pack. I think that, Banalish Heralds, it does kind of put you into two colors, but it's very, very strong. The draw card ability and just having a 2/4 when there's like very few 4 toughness creatures that can get through that guy. Very, very strong card. Just you're blocking and you're drawing a card every turn. But I think Tribal Flames, just the utility of it, always going to be Volcanic Hammer at the worst. There's also Stand and Deliver, which is a pretty good one. Uh, but yeah, I think it's probably Tribal Flames. At worst, it's going to be slashable. Again, with the Heralds, the biggest trouble is that it's immediately committing you into two colors. I mean, it's not terrible to just have a 2/4 for 4. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you really don't want to be in a situation. And you're also passing another good white card too. So it's like if you take the Heralds, you're passing a Tapper, and that's going to be an incongruent signal to your the person on your left. And then we see just bonkers white cards coming through. We see Noble Panther, really really good one. 3/3 first strike is pretty crazy in this format when it's at 3 on your curve. I feel like I'm going to take Sparring Golem here. None of these cards really stand out incredibly well. The Knowledge Lancer is fine. It's good with kicker. 4/4 first strike is actually pretty strong in the format. But Sparring Golem, again, that's just going to keep us open, and it's just a 3-drop that's going to hit our curve. You typically would rather play it in a more aggressive deck, and I don't think this is even close to the strongest card. But Noble Panther, basically, we're just saying, hey, we're going to jump into Naya at this point, which is not terrible, but again, I think that blue and red and black are going to be the strongest colors by far, so I want to be in at least two of those if possible. And next up, we get Stormscape Apprentice, so we get a different tapper. So this one, it's like either way, this card's going to have utility. We're going to be in either blue white or blue black. It's very rare that we're going to get this guy and then we're going to end up in some other colors. So happy to take this guy. I think he's a little bit better than Washout. Washout works well when your opponents are playing opposite colors than you, but when they have some of the same colors, it's not quite as good. And Prohibit is good, but it's a reactive card. I think Confound, when it comes to reactive cards, is just strictly better. Prohibit is very, very good, though. I think if the Tapper was not in this pack, I'm pretty sure Prohibit would be my pick at that point. But the Tapper definitely going to be just a little bit stronger. It's more proactive. Xanom Jin, wow, okay. That's a pretty nice one. I'm going to be passing another white card here, Shackles. So Xanom Jin, I think, is a pretty clear pick. If this thing's ever a 5/6, you're just winning the game, and you're not ever going to have too many blue creatures. It's unlikely for a deck to kind of shake out that way. Like even if you're blue with white, you're gonna probably have more white creatures. If you're blue black red, you're gonna have more red creatures. But as soon as I say that, of course, we get one of the best possible blue creatures we could pick up, and especially this late. I mean, this is 6th pick, Fairy Squadron. So Fairy Squadron going to enable the gating on Cavern Harpy or Silver Drake, and it's also just going to be a 3/3 flyer later in the game. So incredible card. Seeing it 5th pick is just a total gift, so we will gladly take that. And here we get a couple cards. So Crimson Acolyte can be really, really good, but it can also just be kind of useless. I like Tidal Visionary. Tidal Visionary actually does work well with the Djinn there, and it has some other utility, like it can counter black removal spells, it can screw up your opponent's gating sometimes, or it can help your gating if you don't have the right creatures. Like, has some interesting utility. I think it's better than Mediterranean Zombie, which is also another solid card. But again, we're not sure we're going into black just yet, so I'd rather have the one that's a little. Oh wow, Angelic Shield. This I have taken this card first pick before. This is, I think, one of the best uncommons in the set, and it's really because the creature parity is like things are just very even. You have like a lot of 2/2 flyers. You have a lot of 3/3 dudes. So whenever you can kind of break that parity, and it's like all of a sudden your guys have bigger butts, it's a big deal. And I mean, it just can bounce something. Like sometimes the utility of that is incredible. So Razorfoot Griffin, I mean, I'm shocked to see that coming all the way around. That tabling is a pretty clear signal that we should be able to get. And then, wow, then the Lancer comes around and Stand Deliver and Prison Barricade, everything. So just, I guess people are not in blue-white at all, is what it looks like to me. I know we passed a few good cards, but this is late stuff. So I think Stand Deliver is just a little bit better than the other two. It has more utility. And with Deliver, it's return target permanent, so it's a little better in some regards than say Repulse and Rushing River in terms of like just the flexibility of the card itself. And then the other mode is totally usable because we're blue white. So I think that's a great card. We're getting extremely lucky in this pack so far. We have 10 playable cards. I haven't seen a whole lot of red, but again, we're in pack 3, blue red is just so strong that even if somebody's in red on your right, you're still gonna get cards because they'll just be like multiples. They'll come in multiples in a pack, and they can't take everything. So, but we'll see what happens in pack 2 as well. Pack 2, we're gonna be looking for a lot of hits. Oh, Mediterranean Zombie came around. That's kind of nice. I think that gives us an opportunity if we want to be in black. Regenerators are good. The ground gets pretty gummed up in these IPA drafts, just the way the format is. Like a lot of times, just having a regenerator is shutting things down. All right, Caption Unicorn. It's destroy target artifact or enchantment in a pinch. You can bring this guy in from the sideboard, and most of the cards we're going to get from here on out shouldn't be anything. But yeah, 10 absolute playable cards in our deck. Mana curve's a little weird. We're a little short on creatures. We're going to be looking for cards like Samite Pilgrim in pack 2. Would like to see a Silver Drake. Trying to think of what else. Those are the two main ones because really I want the creatures in blue and white. Aurora Griffin's fine if we have to take it. That's a 2/2 flyer, but yeah, lots of good cards. And then, okay, I think Sterling Grove is worth money, which is probably why I'm looking to pick that. Sway of Illusion's actually playable, although with how strong my deck is so far, I highly doubt I would be playing Sway of Illusion. Okay, and there's a Silver Drake right off the top. You love to see it. Silver Drake or Strafe are the picks here. Now, Strafe is a good piece of removal. It does not hit red creatures, which is fairly annoying, but I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure which one I'm going to take. I think I'm a little short on removal at this point, and there is Hobble that'll be in this pack, but I think just the cheap removal factor that it just kills so many things. I think it's probably going to be Strafe. Begrudgingly, we'll take Strafe and hope that we get something else. Okay, there's a Hobble. That's nice. Hobble and possibly a Singe that might table. People tend to undervalue that card. So I think Hobble is definitely going to be the move here. It fits into our curve pretty well. We don't have a lot of 3-drops. We need to start getting some 3-drops. It's a reasonable removal. It's not, I mean, it basically just stops attacking, and some creatures will not be able to block, but it does replace itself. So that's kind of the benefit. And next up, we have another Hobble. We have Confound. Planeswalker's Scorn can be pretty good, but it's only in like the long game and if both players have slower decks. If you're against a faster deck, then it's just totally useless. And we are also not playing black as of yet. So looks like I'm eyeing up this Confound. I think Confound is a super strong card, but I think in this particular configuration, Hobble might be a little better. We don't even have any creatures to defend yet with Confound. Somehow Lash Knife Barrier. I don't know how to explain it, ladies and gentlemen. This is After Flame Tongue Kabu, this is far and above the best uncommon in the set, and we happen to be in those colors. Even if we weren't, I would have to be considering what I want to switch into white from another color. If, say, we were blue, red, black right at this point, and we didn't have a lot of one of the colors. But yeah, Lash Knife Barrier. I mean, they didn't even need to put the draw card text on that card, and it would still be extremely good. But they did, so cards busted. So again, that breaks the parity. It's a damage prevention, and just people can't get through. And you have that an Angelic Shield. Like, we need to start finding some creatures though, and we're gonna need creatures in pack 3. We're gonna need Coalition Honor Guard. We're gonna need Goblin Legionnaire. But yeah, right now we're not seeing the white creatures that we would normally see. And then as far as blue creatures in pack 2, there's just not a lot of them. Hunting Drake, which we already passed one. And then Coastal Drake, I believe, is another one. Sea Snid, there's one. That's a good one that we can definitely make use of. And Slingshot Goblin's a little bit tempting because we do have Tidal Visionary, and that is a busted combo if you can get those two going together. But, you know, people can obviously kill either of those guys pretty easily. And, you know, if you do get it going, it is pretty nuts, though. So, but I think Sea Snid here, just we need bigger bodies. We need the mana fixing that it provides. Sea Snid is, you know, one of the trifecta, you know, Dream Thrush, Sea Snid, and Reef Shaman, the fixtures there. And since we're in white, we have Helionaut as well. So here it looks like Aurora Griffin is going to be the pick. This pack is not incredibly strong. There's nothing that we really want from it. Obviously, Caldera Kabu, if you're playing black, is a pretty good one. This is bogged down, but we are in red so far, and I don't have a good enough reason to deviate from that. So we're going to stick with the plan. We do want to get the blue-red cards in pack 3, so we'd have to have something completely ridiculous happen to want to move off of this color combination at this point. So right now our biggest issue is we're just kind of lacking creatures, and we don't have like it's okay sometimes when you're lacking creatures, but you have like quite a lot of removal. We have like 3 removal spells, and one of them is like pseudo removal. So you know, we're gonna have to get a little fortunate here in the next pack and a half, because we're already halfway through this pack, and I don't think, I mean, if somehow Silver Drake tabled, that would be an absolute miracle. I can't rule it out because there were super strong blue-white cards coming around late in pack 1, so not impossible, but I'm not holding my breath for that one. Would be nice though. We do already have 3 early drops that we could gate with Silver Drake, so you never know. Sometimes you can get very lucky. Okay, Silver Drake is not going to be available here, but Aura Blast for the sideboard is fine. Could potentially take Kabu Recluse to use in, you know, just for domain purposes, power. But it's not really anything too special. All right, second Aurora Griffin. Not going to get played, but we already have an Aura Blast, so we don't really need that. Planeswalker's Fury is actually playable. This if you can go into the long game, this card can be kind of busted. Just continuously dealing damage to your opponent. So, and a lot of these games do get into stalemates, like I said, so it's perfectly reasonable. All right, Shifting Sky. So it looks like we're going to need to get lucky in pack 3 because we really have kind of not a great curve. Terminal Moraine is decent mana fixing. I think that would probably be the pick over Bog Down, which I cannot believe is still floating around in this pack. People in this draft clearly don't recognize the strength of certain cards. We've seen some very, very late picks of cards that should just not be there at all. Death Bomb is totally playable. I often find that, you know, in decks where I'm playing black, it just tends to not be quite strong enough. Usually, if you have a good enough quality deck, you're not playing Death Bomb, but it's very good when you don't have, you know, it's as the last card. The last card in your deck, Death Bomb is certainly solid. All right, so pack 3, there it is. Coalition Honor Guard, the Dream. It's exactly what we wanted to open. It's a creature, and it is the best common in the set. Coalition Honor Guard with Lash Knife Barrier and with Angelic Shield. It's just like, you know, and Confound. People are going to be having serious problems if we get that card in combination with any of the other cards. Does not go well for opponents typically. Also with power armor, that's just basically like, do you have a black removal spell? That's about it. So let's see what else we can pick up. Like I said, we're hoping for some of the blue-red cards. We're looking for Razorfin Hunter. We're looking for well, there's Goblin Legionnaire. That's a good one. Goblin Legionnaire is not as good as it used to be. So when this set came out, the damage used to go on a stack, so you could actually like block and be like, okay, damage on the stack, and then you could use the ability, so you could actually like kill something that was blocking it or that it was blocking and kill another creature. So it'd be a 2-for-1, but not these days. But still, it's a solid early creature, and it does deal the 2 damage, and even the damage prevention effect can sometimes be useful. We get another Legionnaire. Okay. Seda Disciple is playable in these colors, but not the greatest. Same with Dega. It just depends on your configuration of what mana you'd want to have earlier. But yeah, I think Legionnaire again is just going to be stronger. This is again going to be removal. It's direct damage. It's just an early dude. Sometimes people don't play a creature until turn 4 in this format, and usually a lot of times not until turn 3. Okay, Coastal Drake. He's in this pack. For some reason I thought he might have been in the last pack, but he's not. So sadly we can't take both. But to get a Coalition Honor Guard at any stage after first pick is quite good. So having 2 of those guys is really strong. And there's Razorfin Hunter, which is fantastic. That's one of the blue-red creatures that we said we were looking at. Comes with a Manacles of Decay, which is actually going to be pacifism in this deck since we have the red ability, and sometimes we even have the black if you have a Sea-Snit. Angelic and Angel Fire Crusader could wheel. It's another potential card, but our curve is really bad in the 3-hole right now. Like, we just don't have 3-drops at all. Not exactly the mana curve that you want to see, but thankfully the power level of our cards is good, and we do have a defensive setup again with the double Coalition Honor Guard, with the Lash Knife Barrier, with the the earlier removal. Like we can definitely get to the mid and late game, which is what we need to do with this deck. We just need to get to the late game, and then we need to have Power Armor, Soundgen, Fairy Squadron, get some of these cards going, and then that's how we're gonna win. So hopefully we can get a few more cards that are good. There are some cards I see that could be cut from this deck, potentially. But if we got no other cards for the entire rest of the draft, we do have 22 playables to go along with the Terminal Moraine as the 18th land for mana fixing. So we're set. We do have a deck, but I would certainly rather not be playing multiple Aurora Griffins if possible. Helionaut, that's a good one. That's a 3-drop, and it does mana fix. Goblin Legionnaire number 3. I wonder if that's just a straight up better card, though. I think the fixing and the 3-drop is important here. We do have 2 Legionnaires. I don't know that having 3 gets us anything more, whereas having the Helionaut does. So Enlistment Officer, I think we're not going to have quite enough soldiers for this guy, but he there are times when he can be playable. With how many 4-drops we have, this is probably not one of them. But when you have enough Legionnaires, which we do, then all of a sudden, if that guy draws you a card, 2/3 first strike it's playable. It's playable, but I'd say not for what we have going on now. So I think at this point it looks like we'd be probably just getting rid of an Aurora Griffin, and this would be our deck. But hopeful that we could get some other things. It's still possible that we could get past like a Quicksilver Dagger. It's still possible we can get a Standard Bearer. There's a few cards. Even a second Helionaut would be somewhat decent. They are flyers, and when you have power armor, like all of a sudden anything that is flying just becomes massive. So I would be comfortable playing 2 Helionauts in this deck. Okay, nothing for us here. Do we just like take Consume Strength as the best card in the pack? I don't even know. It's weird because when I used to play, it's like you'd be playing against the people that are in your pod, so it's like you would not want to pass a card that strong that late, but yeah, I think Goblin Ringleader has to be worth something, right? That should be the card we take. People play that in other formats. Okay. So yeah, I think we're good. I don't think we're gonna get anything more. I'm looking at the Planeswalkers Fury at this point. I'm kind of like, okay, is this gonna happen? Is this not gonna happen? We're gonna have to find out. I don't know. I think I think it actually is pretty good in this deck as I'm talking through it. All right, Rocket Disciple is the better disciple in this situation because you can use both modes, and I think that should be the pick. I'm not sure it gets played, but I think it probably is better than Tidal Visionary at this point. Tidal Visionary does some tricks with Strafe and with Sonamjin, but outside of that, I don't know. Diversionary Tactics is another card that could be actually good in this deck too. I'm wondering if I should have just taken that for the sideboard here. It looks like I'm missing it. It's again, it's in 4-drop land, but I feel like this is the kind of deck that will just stall out and not be able to get through, and Diversionary Tactics will certainly help with breaking through. Wow, Manacles comes all the way around. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Okay, worst Sanctuary. I'm pretty sure that's the worst Sanctuary. It's gotta be. Yeah, Life Gain. Life Gain not very good unless it's attached to something like Angel of Mercy. That's a good version of Life Gain. But usually, yeah, Life Gain or Absorb attached to a counterspell. Or if it's attached to a creature, which I don't know besides Angel of Mercy if there's other ones, like in other sets, there's definitely other ones. Okay, right away we're just Tidal Visionary gone. Get out, Tidal Visionary. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure here. Looks like I'm really trying to get down to 40 cards, but the struggle is real. So the trouble with Rocket Disciple is okay, you could say, oh well, I'm not going to get my red mana until late. I don't have that much red, but I don't really need things to be flying until late. Wow, confound getting the clip. Okay, we did it, guys. I will say that it's funny to see this because I'm watching this back. Like I said, I for some reason didn't record the audio for this particular draft, and Confound is one of my favorite cards in this format, and I think it's like severely underrated with how late you would get it. Although I have to say, I was watching a couple of years ago. I was watching Finite MTG doing his drafts. Not actually at that time. I saw his VODs on YouTube, and I just couldn't believe how late Confound was coming around. Like every time, like it would be, I'd see it like 12th pick, 13th pick, and I'm just like, what on earth is going on in these drafts? But yeah, I think people picked up on that a little bit from the last time around, and people are a little bit better in this go round for IPA. They have a little more experience. Maybe they understand the cards a little bit better. So, all right, looks like we're going 7-5-5 here. We are all set. All right, here we go. We are getting into round 1 versus Smash Lee. And we have a nice blue, white, red deck. Our mana curve isn't very good, but we've got quite a lot of really nice spells. So as you can see, there are some good ones right there. This is a really nice hand. This is running good right here. This is running good. When you're able to get 2 drops of 2 different colors and cast them both, and you have a 2-drop and 3-drop, this is a very nice start. Strafe won't be quite as good. This guy's playing black-red, so his red creatures we won't be able to hit. We did cut Tidal Visionary, but we did draw one of our strongest cards just now after a very strong 2-drop of Razorfin Hunter. We got Lash Knife Barrier, which protects Razorfin Hunter from certain things that our opponent might have. He's probably just going to kill it straight away. Ooh, a Rager. So, Razorfin Hunter has survived. Will I remember to use it? I don't know. That's a separate question, but hopefully I will. I've definitely missed activations on creatures that have abilities like this before. I tend to try to do a lot of F6ing. There was one match I lost where I had actually timed out, and I tried to like learn to just play a little bit faster and stay ahead of the clock. against my opponents because I haven't played Magic online or used the client in 20 years, so it's a little bit difficult. So here we have 5-drop Fairy Squadron, which we will be able to cast because we do have the island, which is nice. It'll be a 3/4 flyer. That's going to be easily dealt with by red-black because they have Terminate, they have Agonizing Demise, Annihilate, Reckless Bite, other stuff. So go ahead and just run our guy out, and we will pass the turn. Looks like I did forget to use Razorfin there. He took one from his Rager. We did not ping. So could be unfortunate later on in the game. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think I was just looking to get a blocker down because red-black can kind of come out of the gates pretty fast. So I think that's why we went Sparring Golem. Wow, we're going for Kick Magma Burst. That is brave, sir. That is brave. What that tells me is that this guy has at least one land in hand. If he's doing this, I'd be very surprised for somebody to just go down to 3 lands. You know, it's not like he's got a big board presence right now. He's going to be hitting in for 2, and that's perfectly fine, but we're going to have another nice blocker here. Oh, okay. Coalition Honor Guard has entered the chat. Yeah, things are looking better and better for us. And we're at 16. I mean, black-red decks certainly have reach, but this is not the kind of situation where I'm like worried about, oh man, this guy's going to get me. So yeah, it seems like Honor Guard next turn with the Angelic Shield is why we're just trying to be efficient with our mana, and we can definitely block here. And if he has a trick, like, I'm happy for him to use it and kill Fairy Squadron first anyway when you know, we have Honor Guard coming in. So I should play Angelic Shield first, is what I should do. But I'm not sure if I'm going to make that play. Okay, this is certainly the correct play. We want that. And then we want Honor Guard as well. And then we bring the Heat. So yeah, this board has just gotten really, really out of hand for our opponent. As you can see, he's only got 2 creatures. Seems like he might be a little bit flooded. We know he's already drawn at least 6 lands. And Hobble's going to be pretty good against somebody with black creatures. So that's pacifism, draw a card. That's pretty nice. And yeah, our board, I mean, these are like 4 of our strongest cards that are in play right now. The 5th one is in the graveyard. So pretty much a nut draw from our side here. And yeah, Pouncing Kabu probably not going to be able to do a whole lot. Yep. He's not even going to fake it. Not even going to fake it. So I think, yeah, we're a little bit short on creatures, but at the end of the day, it's like, how's he getting through that Honor Guard? Do we hobble here is the question. I think it would be nice to get a little bit more presence on the board, but and also against black, they have discard, so it's like you don't want to just be holding spells forever. Like this guy just goes bogged down with Kicker or Hypnotic Cloud kicked. That's gonna hurt quite a bit. So I think some options are we could go hobble on. I guess it would be on Pouncing Cock, although it can't attack and it can't block. Is that only black creatures? I think it's only black. It's not black and red. Sometimes I forget what some of these cards do. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we're clearly winning the race until he finds an answer for Fairy Squadron, which will be pretty tough to do, given he has to deal with Honor Guard first. So, okay, we are going to allow him to have, if he has discard, he has discard. We're going to take a pretty big hit here. Okay, double Pouncing Kabu. So this guy's deck is very, very fast. This is a dangerous deck, but we have exactly the kind of deck that can just like stabilize the board. So yeah, I think now we're going to have to do something. And Strafe is not going to be able to hit, these guys. Wow, he is bringing the house. Okay, I will gladly block a Rager here, and we'll take a big hit. So yeah, we're going to put Hobble to use for sure. And if he has anything else, maybe we're going to strafe it. But looks like he wants to get his beats on, and I don't blame him. He's got that kind of deck, and right now he's got us outnumbered. So okay, another land, not helpful. So yeah, I think it's time for Hobble. I think for sure it's time for, yep, can't strafe those guys. Sorry, they're red. Yep, sometimes I forget the text on these cards. Title Visionary is not in the deck to help us fix that. So yeah, I think Hobble. and then hopefully we draw one of our many 4-drop creatures or power armor. We have 4-drop dot deck is pretty much what we have. Helionaut, even better. Helionaut is going to be very good. That can block Nightscape all day long while we can block the Pouncing Kabu. So I think, yeah, we're getting it. Oh wow, this is okay. Let's not get too brave here. Let's not get too brave. I don't think it changes the clock that much, does it? I guess it does. It would have been 2 turns after this if we get in and then he wants to crack back. But again, this is where the reach comes in. So it's like he does have us at 9 life. Like Helionaut would only be blocking Nightscape. If he got 3 for 3, we're down to 6. It starts to get a little dicey. He could have some burn in hand that maybe can't quite hit Coalition Honor Guard, but it could hit our face. So yeah, I think this was a little bit more of a prudent play here. So we're going to have 1 additional turn, but it's also like, it's much harder for him to get us to 0 from 9. You know, like he has to just have multiple answers here. He has to have a removal spell for Honor Guard, first of all. And then even there, we can Angelic Shield bring it back. So yeah, I think blocking here is definitely what needs to happen. Don't love taking 3 here. I think it's like if you have a trick, you can use your trick, and I'm happy to bounce my Honor Guard back with the Angelic Shield and drop it back down. Yeah, I really don't want to go too low on life here. Okay, this is this double block. So yeah, this is probably not wise because we could just lose Helionaut straight up here. Okay, we're rethinking it. I think the best block is just Honor Guard in front of Pouncing Kabu. Make him have something. Helionaut in front of Nightscape Familiar. Make him tap all the way out. Then we could actually strafe Nightscape Familiar if we wanted to. But yeah, taking 3 and then something happens and he's got Magma Burst number 2, things start to get a little too dicey. And we really don't want Fairy Squadron to have to be on defense. I don't love this block. I think this was probably not the correct way to block here. If he had drawn something like Agonizing Demise, for instance, or we know he didn't draw Reckless Spike because he would have just probably straight up used that and then tried to hit in and hope he drew something. But okay, clearly he has something. Okay, we're tapping for 3. This looks like it could be Demise. No, we win. Okay. All right, he was just posturing. He was just posturing, I guess. So, okay, yeah, we're going to take a look here. I don't think there's really anything that we would necessarily want to change. Planeswalker's Fury is absolutely too slow for this guy. Confound is typically going to be better against red-black, but with how fast this guy's deck is, we might not have untapped mana very often when it actually counts. So I think I'm probably content to just keep things as they are. I also just noticed something funny that Goblin Ringleader would have actually been solid if we took that 3rd Legionnaire. Just play Ringleader and get a Legionnaire. That would be funny. Okay, it looks like we are going to go for Confound. I'm not sure I love this, but yeah, Aurora Griffin, maybe not the All-Star against this guy. 4 for a 2/2, which could be probably chump blocking. Doesn't seem great. He could even have some pro white, might have a Shivan Zombie or something like that we can't even block. Like, you don't want to block Phyrexian Rager with that guy. It's yeah, I don't know. I'm probably making excuses for why I brought in Confound, but here we are. So taking a look at Stand and Deliver again. I think that card needs to stay in though, to be honest. Wow, okay, I don't know about taking out Strafe. I don't know. I mean, I do think from what we've seen of this guy, maybe it is the move. Just because, you know, yeah, Zombie Boa is really going to be the most practical target. But outside of that, man, like if he's just straight up red-black, like most of the good creatures in red-black are red. So maybe that was a good move. Maybe that was a good move. Maybe I was wise beyond my years. So we don't have red yet, and Fairy Squadron is not coming out on kicks against a deck like this. That seems quite foolish. So thankfully no 2-drop from our opponent. Confound will not be useful anytime soon. And we just have 5 drops. Morgue Toad. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just gonna get our last knife out here. There's nothing he can do to remove that card. Let's just draw a card, hopefully get our land. We do. So now we can start looking for our 4 drops. Already got 2 of our 5s, so really the biggest dead draw we would have would probably be Zonam Jin, which will come in handy later. So, Fire Kabu. Ooh, and Blazing Golem. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah, probably going to need to hobble that guy. I don't think we have I don't think we have a sufficient way to deal with him just yet. So yeah, hobble seems to be the best use there. Let's just keep drawing cards. We need to get to 5 mana or find Honor Guard. Okay, great. There's a mountain, and we can play Legionnaire. Oh no, wait, was this our 4th turn? No, we can't play Legionnaire. Okay. Probably should have, I think I misordered things on that turn. I think I should have played Hobble first to draw, and then seen if we could have drawn the mountain for Disciple. So that was a misplay by me. Little things like that can make a big difference in games. Lava Zombie cannot gate in Blazing Golem. Thank goodness. That Hobble would have gone bye-bye. However, Lava Zombie is a problem. C-Snid will happily trade with Lava Zombie now that we have all our 3 colors here. And yeah, I think playing. I think we just want to trade with Lava Zombie. Just play C-Snid out there and sacrifice him to the wild. If we have to trade Fairy Squadron, so be it. But Lava Zombie is going to take out any of these guys because even with Lash Knife Barrier, Lava Zombie is big and he could pump even if we had some other buff effect. So, all right, here we go. We are going to drop C-Snid and hope he doesn't have Terminate up because that would be nasty. We'd be looking at game 3 pretty quickly if he starts dispatching some of our guys. And this is what can happen if you don't play any creatures until turn 5. That's not always a recipe for success. And if you do, it's hopefully a little bit better than C-Snid, but you know, hey, like I said, I'm happy to trade. So he didn't have Terminate, which is good. He could have Demise here. Agonizing Demise would be pretty busted. Plague Spores, that is equally as busted, but somehow we drew another mountain, so we're not completely dead, but we're pretty dead. We're pretty dead. Plague Spores is a really nice one in his deck. It's probably my least favorite removal in Invasion, but in certain decks it is really good. Alright, so we are going to go double creature with Confound backup. And we're going to hope our tapper is able to survive, but yeah, we're gonna be getting into dangerous territory here. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Not that we have the red mana up because he killed our land, but if we did have that mountain still, and this was the olden days when this set came out, you'd be able to block Lava Zombie, damage on the stack, sacrifice Goblin Legionnaire to deal 2 to Lava Zombie, and then Lava Zombie would take 4 damage and die. Which is why Goblin Legionnaire was so much better at that time than now, but still a very, very good card. So this doesn't look good for us. Hopefully it's something we can confound. That would be the best case scenario here. We cannot confound Pouncing Kabu, I'm afraid. Yeah, we might have to double block Lava Zombie here. I think double block Lava Zombie is quite necessary. I don't know if I actually do it, but I think it is the move, because otherwise, what else am I doing? We gotta double block that guy, right? We take 3, we go to 9, and then we have Fairy Squadron. I think it's just a little too greedy to try to not block. Oh, we have the prevent damage thing. So we could double block, prevent to one of the guys. See, this is where I get messed up with Magic Online. I don't actually know how to. I think you have to set a stop on your side on damage, which it looks like I don't have. I think I only learned this later on. And then that's when you can do the damage prevention effects. They have to say how they're assigning damage, and then you can do the damage prevention. So I think I'm just going to get blown out here. Is probably what's about to happen. Or I could just take it. Sure. Let's just take all that damage instead and get greedy as hell. I need 1 more land if I'm going to play Kick Fairy Squadron and have the Tapper mana open. And then also, what am I doing about the other creature? I don't know. Yeah, I think this was probably a situation where double blocking and then using the damage prevention would have been good. I think he would have done 3-1, or even if he did 2-2, we're able to save the Stormscape. Or if he does it, if he did, yeah, yeah, one of our creatures would live no matter what. So this was a bit of a miss on my part, of which there are many. Um, it's easy when you're watching the games back to know what you should do versus when you're in the game and then you're like trying to figure it out. Oh, am I looking at trying to bounce that aura and put it on Lava Zombie? I don't think that's very good either because then Emblazoned Golem is still very good. So yeah, we're at 5. This is not going to work out well for me. Yeah, Coalition Honor Guard. That's probably one of the best draws I could possibly have here. I still don't know if I'm going to win this game, but we have Honor Guard and we have our Tapper mana active now, which is kind of crazy. So we can't even attack though. And Blazing Golem is Golem. I just good old Emblazoned Golem. The Golem, he cannot block. So yeah, we just need to tap down Lava Zombie here, and then we will be blocking Pouncing Kapu. Unless, of course, this gentleman has removal, in which case we're pretty much dead. So, about to find out what the case is here. And it looks like he's got something. That is Agonizing Minds kicked. We are going to be dead. We are going to be dead now. Yeah. So that's going to deal damage equal to the power Coalition Honor Guard, which is 2, puts us to 3, and yeah, we're dead. So yeah, double blocking last turn would have been the correct play, and then we're able to play Coalition Honor Guard, which still gets killed, but we're tapping Pouncing Kapu, and then we can continue with the game. Then we're able to get Fairy Squadron down. And if he doesn't have additional threats, we may be able to actually start getting beats on, but that was not the case. So, all right, looks like we're gonna try to block here and hope we draw a land. So just jump blocking, hope we draw a land. And then we can play Kicked Fairy Squadron and have our Tapper still available. But we're in a very fragile position. Yeah, even with this, I mean, like this is just we're not surviving. If he has anything at all, like any burn spell, anything, is we're done. But he's got to have it now, though. That is the interesting thing, because with Confound, if he doesn't have it like right now, then we do have a chance. But this is all because of my misplay. So if you think about it, we'd have a higher life total at this point. Lava Zombie would be off the board. And yeah, I think we'd be surviving. I think we would be surviving this had I made that block, that double block, and used stand and deliver earlier. Looks like he just has another removal spell probably, so I think this is over. Yep. What is this, Illuminate? No, Reverse with Kicker. Yeah, that's going to do it. So nothing to be done there. I think we do survive, though. Again, like if I had made that double block, yeah, that was the difference. So this was a bit of a punt. So now I'm making some decisions about, do I want to bring Tidal Visionary back in? Tidal Visionary does counter Agonizing Demise, which is pretty nice. But really it just does that. I guess Plague Spores as well, now that I think about it. Maybe Tidal Visionary would be good to bring in here. I don't think I'm going to do it, but those are 2 pretty strong removal spells. And if you get, like, it just gives me another one of those potential locks, where it's like Coalition Honor Guard plus Tidal Visionary, Coalition Honor Guard plus Angelic Shield. Yeah, I would like to see me bring in Tidal Visionary here, but we didn't do it. Hopefully we get bailed out. Let's see. Okay, this is not a very nice draw to look at. We have 5 lands. We can cast 2 of our better cards, but we have 0 creatures. Terminal Moraine would certainly thin out our deck. We will have access to whatever mana we want, but this is kind of scary though, man. I mean, this guy's playing a faster red-black deck. Like, if we don't draw exactly creatures in the first 3 to 4 draw steps, we're really in problems. And with 14 creatures, we have a little bit less than 50% chance each draw to draw a creature. But then let's not forget this guy has removal too. So I think I'd like to see a mulligan here, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So we're going to find out together here. All right, what's happening? We are going to keep. Yeah, that's a little sketchy. That is a little sketchy. Not only that, this guy's on the play because I tend to like to draw in this format. Okay, Tribal Flames. That'll help slow things down a bit. So we'll have our turn 2 Angelic Shield. So whoever we do finally draw is going to have a little bit more protection, which is nice. But he's got Bouncing Kabu right away. Looks like he just wants to get the beats on, or he's got turn 3 Lava Zombie. He's got turn 3 Lava Zombie. That's actually good for us because then Tribal Flames is going to be a huge tempo play. And because we did draw all 3 of our land types. Okay, he did not have Lava Zombie. So yeah, I think we want to moraine this turn. We don't have any instants, so this would be the time. I think we need to go get another island so that we have double blue to make sure we can have red no matter what, because we need to get Sea-Snid down. I mean, he's pretty far off Plague Spores, but sometimes these red-black decks do play other land destruction spells, not unheard of. But yeah, let's see. So our opponent is mana screwed, which is a little bit fortunate for us. All right, end of combat. End of turn. Ah, he found his 3rd land. Okay, so now we want to see probably, yep, there it is, Lava Zombie. So we're going to get like 2 turns of tempo, which is essentially saved us in this game. Because if you think about it, like, we're already behind. I should be getting island here. Okay, yeah, that's the correct one. There we go. So now our Tribal Flames will be going quite a long ways here. And now if I wanted to get Omega level greedy, I would play Power Armor now and then play Sparring Golem and Tribal Flames next turn, but that just seems ludicrous to me. So I'm going to do this. And yeah, we're sometimes mana efficiency is not the way. I think this is one of those times where it's like we just want to get Sea-Snid down next turn. Our guy's stuck on mana. Let's see if he's got a Rager. He's got a Rager. It's probably I just drew it. He would have played that before Lava Zombie. I would. Maybe not actually. I mean, I guess if you're trying to put the beat down, but it is nice when you have Rager and Lava Zombie. That's a pretty sweet combo. All right, looks like we're gonna drop Snid here, and he is gonna easily be able to stop pouncing Kabu, but opponent could have removal. So yeah, we're just getting lucky this game. This is one where I'm actually, oh wow, 2nd Lava Zombie. Yikes. That is yikes. Okay, not much we can do there. So yeah, I mean, this guy's gonna have all gas in hand, so this is a tough spot for us because really, like, even though we've survived the early game, so I think yeah, we can go double creature here, and then Power Armor with activation next turn. Seems to be the best move. Sea-Snid probably just needs to stand back and block Lava Zombie. I mean, I think that's just what it comes down to. I'm not even going to try to color screw this guy off of Swamp at this point. I think it's more important to just keep our life total nice and high, and Power Armor is just going to devastate this guy. Like, he's not going to be able to stop Power Armor. All right, I make the wrong choice here. I think this was a clear time to play 2 creatures. For some reason, I'm just not playing this game correct at all. Or the last one, again, very easy to see from this perspective, but yeah, Power Armor, I mean, unless I'm trying to keep the activations up for when I drop the creatures, but that doesn't really make sense. I think it would have been much smarter to just drop Sparring Golem and Helion. If he wants to trade for Sea-Snid, I have 2 creatures, and then I have Power Armor, and I can activate it. Obviously, Sea-Snid can make that Power Armor a little better than what it already is. So maybe if he doesn't have an answer right now, I was planning to take 4 and then say, you can't ever kill Sea-Snid? I don't know. I mean, obviously in combat, he can't kill Sea-Snid. Okay, so he's getting in, so yeah, the question is, do we just take 4 here? I think it's totally reasonable to take 4 here. And then next turn play out like Helionaut and have Power Armor back. Or even Sparring Golem. Sparring Golem cannot be blocked by a Lava Zombie. Yeah, I really don't like the line I took in this game. But our deck is definitely got a lot of outs at this point. Power Armor is very strong, and we haven't drawn a lot of our other very strong cards. Like we still have double Honor Guards, Adamjin. I think even what are we doing here? Okay, not blocking. We're gonna say this guy can't play black spells now. Okay, I can't say I understand this at all. I think I was just being very indecisive, and probably. Okay, yeah, he's just gonna play Pouncing Kabu back out. This is making no sense whatsoever. So we just took 4. All right, Razorfin Hunter. That guy can take care of business. He can take care of Pouncing Kabu at least. That's nice. Yeah, so we can play Razorfin Hunter and then he can't attack because C-Snid can get +4/+4. So I think that's the move. Or we're just gonna, yeah, okay. Let me just see how badly I can screw this game up. let me just make every single wrong play in this game and then have my deck bail me out. That seems like a more entertaining way for you guys to enjoy this game. Yeah, clearly I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I don't know if this game took place late at night and maybe I was tired, but certainly not making the right plays and getting totally bailed out by my deck and my opponent being severely mana screwed. He finally finds land number 4, and what's he got? Volcano Imp. That is actually a good one. But I think is he gonna attack? No. No, he does not want to attack anymore. All right, let's get Razorfin Hunter out there, man. Come on, what are we doing? We have Helionaut out there. All right, these guys could have been in play years ago, by the way, if I had taken the alternate line of Sparring Golem, Helionaut, and then Power Armor the following turn, and then Razor Griffin would be in play, and all this would not have happened. But we took a very, very bad line, and yeah, somehow we're not getting punished for it. So we're just gonna keep Power Armor up. It looks like, and we're just gonna say, hey, what are you gonna do about it, man? What are you gonna do about it? If he draws that 5th land, Plague Spores is imminent. But at least we can cast Razorfin no matter what now, even if he kills that land, the mountain. But that would decrease Power Armor's strength a little bit. So let's hope that's not the case. All right, opponent is ready to get in or not. And he's going to bring it with Volcano Imp. So this is where Magma Burst comes into play. So if he does have Magma Burst, this would probably be the moment that he uses it. However, with the Angelic Shield, C-Snid will be saved. Okay, so am I not pumping here? Am I waiting? Am I saying, okay, I'll just block and I don't care? Like, you can keep your Volcano Imp. I guess that's what I did. Yeah, he's like, okay. Damage. Zombie Boa. Now that guy is a bit of a problem because can't block him. So we're on a 5-turn clock now. That's very fortunate, though. Well, no. Zombie Boa's ability is not targeted, so I mean, it's always fortunate to draw Coalition Honor Guard, obviously, but yeah, deck just bailing us out 100% here. I think I've made just about every wrong play you could make in this game, but the deck is refusing to let us lose. It's like, oh no, don't worry. I've got you. All right, so no sense in attacking just yet. We're not really in a position to race this guy. Using the Power Armor is a way to race, but it's also a little bit dangerous for our current situation. I think we'd rather use power armor defensively at the moment until we can make sure we've really stabilized the board. So there's Bog Down, and now you can see, so we lose Razorfin Hunter, which never should have happened. That guy should have been in play many, many turns ago. But because of that bad line we took, now Bog Down is good. And he didn't even have to kick it, which makes it even worse. So he's still got his lands. Now Hobble is a very, very fortunate top deck. Yeah, deck is just totally bailing us out here. This probably should have been 0-1 drop, but we're going to get to play on because, you know, hey, sometimes when you draft a good deck, you draw a bunch of good cards, and that's okay. But I think Hobble is probably going to need to go on somebody. I would assume Zombie Boa. I don't know why he didn't want to activate Zombie Boa the last time. I guess it's because Power Armor still could have killed it with Sparring Golem, I think, or with Ceasenid, I suppose. Yeah, he has to have multiple activations, and then Sparring Golem can still block. So Hobble should maybe go on Volcano Imp. Why is it going on Lava Zombie? Okay, I can't say I understand this at all. Lava Zombie is probably the least threatening of the creatures. And another honor, sure, why not? Let's just okay, now we're attacking. Now we're just getting in. Like, what? All right, fine. Yeah, now we're just saying, okay, you know what? We're going all in here. Honor Guard, and we have double Honor Guard. Magma Burst is now effectively useless. I mean, if he does have something he could do, well, you have to target at least one, I believe. So double Flag Bearer doesn't mean he has to target both of them. I think it means, so if he had Magma Burst, I think he could kill Heliodot here. He would do 3 to, but he still have to kick it, and he's short on lands. So I think we're going to see, okay, Blazing Golem. That guy's a good blocker. I think we're at the point here where we have stabilized, and we could probably just get in. Wow, let's just draw all the hits. You know, I wasn't satisfied yet. I think you know what the next top card needs to be right now is Zonojin. I think once we get Zonojin in, then I think we've done it. Okay, Rocket Disciple, close enough. Yeah, we can go ahead and drop that guy because we don't actually have to do anything. Am I attacking? That was the question, because I have to start powering up if I want to start getting attacks through. That is the question. I think the blocking situation, I think, is fine. We could let Volcano Imp get through. Yeah, I'm just going to play Disciple. So, yeah, Ceasenid can no longer get through quite as easily. So we'd be looking at attacking with Heliodot and then dealing damage that way. Now, Ceasenid will be flying next turn, which is probably what's going to happen. I'm guessing that is the direction that this game is going to go in. Now, it would be something if this guy had Breath of Gods, which does absolutely nothing right now to me. All right, he's got his second Pouncing Kabu. That's not going to do it. We have the ground completely locked up, and now we get to see why Rocket Disciple is a good finisher in this particular deck, because he is going to make somebody fly that is much bigger than Heliodot, I'm guessing. Yeah, we'll play Legionnaire. We're probably going to fly the Ceasenid and start getting in there. Yeah, I think that's the move. So, is it not the move? All right, we're having some hesitation here. Okay, nope, we're going with just Heliodot. We want to keep Ceasenid back for whatever reason. All right, playing this game a little bit on the conservative side, I think. I think this is... Okay, no, we are going to get in this way. I'm not sure why we're doing this way, and I guess we want the damage prevention from Rocket Disciple just in case, but that doesn't really make sense. So I think the clock is faster with Ceasenid, and I didn't use Ceasenid to make it +4/+4. But yeah, this is the example of how not to play Magic for anybody that's watching. At least we identified what were more correct lines to take, I think. Our opponent probably could have made maybe a different player too, but ultimately, yeah, I think they got mana screwed and they have not drawn their removal. If this guy had drawn removal and got rid of Honor Guard, we were probably going to have a bit of a tough time. But ultimately, Angelic Shield is there. All right, what do we have? We have Agonizing Demise, I would assume. No. Plague Spores. Urborg Uprising. One Lava Zombie. You got it. All right, I guess one Lava Zombie is going to gate the other Lava Zombie and get rid of the Hovel. That's what it looks like. Probably just needs another card from the Uprising as well. I mean, guy's got 6 cards in hand. I don't know what he's holding, but like, there's no way that we should really be in this game. Yeah, we got completely bailed out by our deck. Made a huge misplay early on, and we probably could have already won the game by now, or at least we would have Razorfin Hunter out there for sure, which would have been a big help. Big help in winning the game. Okay, we're just going all in here. We're like, you know what? Let's fly Sea-Snid. Let's fly Sea-Snid here, please. And yeah, go ahead. Don't be scared. Let's get Sea-Snid up there in the air, and let's make this a 2-turn clock. Yeah, now we get to see what Power Armor is all about. Attack for 6 in the air, and now you just have to have an answer. You have to have another flyer, or else you're dead. Now, I've let my clock get pretty low here also, I've noticed. It's under 5 minutes, but thankfully we have managed to get into a winning position. Probably this game should have been over on that turn, I'm guessing. If I had played correctly, I'm assuming the game would have been over by now. But we did not do that, so hopefully the play will be a little bit better in the future games. But yeah, dropping that Power Armor and then not blocking with Sea-Snid, and yeah, it was just, I don't know. That was a bit of a debacle in the mid game there. Like turn 6 and 7, I think should have been completely different. All right, can't do anything about that. Zombie Boa is going to be getting through. So I think this guy's just going to go for an Alpha Strike and then probably scoop him up when he realizes that we are not just going to let him get through for, what has he got there, 10? Yeah, even if we took 10, I don't think he could have enough direct damage to kill us, but no, not Alpha Striking. He's just going to get in for 3. Yeah, I am not afraid to take 3 damage. That's perfectly fine, sir. Let's go ahead and move on to my turn here. And yeah, I don't think it's possible for him to do anything now. Oh, wait, we got our Lava Zombie. I almost forgot. Lava Zombie, get back. Lava Zombie. And terminate? No, Bloodfire Dwarf does absolutely nothing. Lash Knife Barrier just nullifies that guy completely. Like, he can't even take out my Rocket Disciple, which actually would have been relevant. It would have been relevant, because I would not have been able to fly Sea-Snid and get in for 7 right now. With just a black mana open, there's nothing he can do. Are we pumping? Are we pumping? We're pumping. Okay. And that's going to be game, because that's going to be 8 damage, and he could only have 1 card, which would be Night Day, which would reduce it to 7 damage. So if I had only attacked with Sea-Snid, he could have technically lived another turn. But, well, good thing. We were about to go through a glut of lands there, and if he had started having answers, we would have lost. But, yeah, we were able to pull out one that probably had no business pulling out. I think we should have won game 2. And I think game 3, we should have been in a much better position. Just didn't play it super well. So, all right, here we go with round 2. So, managed to escape round 1 despite playing very poorly. Let's hope that I play a little bit better here in round 2. We've got James DeBouche is our opponent. I don't think I recognize the name from the leaderboard, so hopefully it's not a super strong player deck. And right away we get to see green and Mana Silex. So I always love to see a forest across from me at the table in this format. I just think green is the weakest color by far, and typically you can't get into good color combinations with it anyway. And the best iteration of green tends to be 5-color bombs, is what I would call it. And that's where you just get mana fixing. Like if you manage to open like Harrow or Forgoal Ground, and you take those and maybe you get like a Nomadic Elf or a Curian Elves or something like that, and then pack 2, you get a little Primal Growth, you get a little, you know, Curian Explorer, whatever. Like you get these cards, and then you're just basically taking whatever is the best card in the pack. Other than that, so it is a viable strategy. And we drop a turn 3 Helionaut, and this guy hasn't played anything. He does have access to 4 colors, and there's a Temporal Spring, so going to hit us with a little bit of a tempo play. No worries there. We're just going to drop it right back on out there. He's got no pressure on us, so happy to see Temporal Spring used in a situation where it doesn't really gain them a whole lot. So looks like he's short on mana, and we're going to be actually getting in there with Helionaut. Not something you're usually doing, but happy to do it. Helionaut being a flyer is certainly one of the better fixers that's out there, because he does have the additional utility later on. And we're drawing a lot of lands, but our opponent is not, and clearly needs them. So the thing I'm afraid of is that once he does finally get those lands, what's he going to do with them? Because he must have a bunch of like 5, 6, and 7 drops. That's a lot of times how these green decks roll, is they just have a lot of expensive stuff. But yeah, no bombs yet, and obviously he doesn't want to use anything too valuable on a Helionaut. Helionaut will take quite a long time to get there. We don't have power this time, right? But we do have mana. We can anything we draw from here on out can be cast, as long as he doesn't have a land destruction spell. Okay, he finds his 5th land. Is this going to be... Oh, okay, Darkgaw's Attendant. And, yeah, that's just not a very good card. I get it if maybe he needs some fixing. Maybe he actually has Dargaz. But even there, it's like, I think he's already got the mana that he needs. So, but he could drop something absolutely massive. I'm just going to play Power Armor, and I'm just getting in there. I don't even care. I'm just like, do what you want, dude. I'm gonna hit you. I have a bounce spell. So worst case scenario, if he actually sacrifices the Attendant and plays something and then I bounce it, that would be a huge blowout. Because I bounce it and then I get in for 4. And he's not having a good time at that point. So, I mean, he knows I already have bounced it with Angelic Shield on the table. So, all right, yeah, I think we just keep hitting hard. I don't see a reason to deviate from the plan here. He could have a bounce spell. So, you know, Rushing River, that would be pretty nasty if he hit Rushing River on Healing, not in Power Armor. But I think we gotta go for it anyway. The Attendant is a 3/3, but that's not killing us anytime soon. So, yeah. Wouldn't want to see a Rushing River here. And he's got something. Looks like he has Recoil. Okay, well that's fine. That's better than Rushing River would have been much more of a blowout because we still have Power Armor in play here, and all those lands we drew finally coming in handy. So once again, I think this is not necessarily a correct play because can I play land? Okay, it is. I'm sorry. I thought I played land for the turn, so yeah, we get both of our guys out, and now we're rolling. Got that little extra bit of reach, so he can knock us down to 14. I could even consider double blocking here. It seems a little wild to do, but yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. We have some tricks in hand, so all right, there's some black mana. So now he has access to all 5 colors, and he's got a Savage Gorilla. That guy is getting strafed immediately. This is a card that is like generally not that good, but when you're in the right colors, it becomes very good. So yeah, he's a 5-color green deck. That's one of the cards you definitely want to see. Or if you're in blue, green, black, that is a very, very good card in those colors as well. So, but yeah, you have to be in very specific deck types for Savage Gorilla to be any good. The good news is most of the time people aren't, so you can get that guy pretty late, which is nice. That is one of the benefits of playing green. Is you know, if you're with the more savvy drafters of this format, you're gonna get a lot more green cards late because everybody else is going to be competing for the other colors. Terminate. Okay. Well, I'm not upset in the least at having my Helia not terminated. That's perfectly fine. A foil one at that, it looked like. So yeah, we're just gonna play Griffin, who's an upgrade. And yeah, looks like this guy is trying to race a little bit, but that strafe was clutch. That strafe was very, very clutch for us. So let's see what he wants to do. He can knock us down to 11, but I mean, he's still. I would expect that he has 4 spells in hand. He was stuck on land a little bit there, so it's just a question of what he's got. I imagine they're either maybe more removal spells like what he had that he was just kind of sandbagging because he didn't want to waste them on our cheap creatures, or he could have some very very large fatties, as green is known to do. He could drop a dragon. He could drop Molimo. He could drop all kinds. Is that the right guy? I'm not even thinking. I don't know if that's even the right name. Um, yeah, there's quite a lot of green, big cards. There's some Kabu guys, Penumbra, Worm even. Like yeah, he's got access to a lot of mana. But our bounce spell is really keeping him off some of that stuff because he's got 7. He's got 8. Okay. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. And this is where I like to play Coalition Honor Guard because sometimes people will like pass priority before combat, and it's like then they're like, oh crap, like, and then all of a sudden they can't do some trick that they could have done. Yeah, and now it's just power armor. You can see why this card was the first pick. I mean, not that it was in a very strong pack when we took it, but you can see how devastating this card can be. I think it won us in our last match, game 3, and it's clearly doing the bulk of the work in this game. And yeah, I mean, this guy's really, really in trouble here because he's effectively at 2, and he's going to have to put out multiple creatures to even be able to stop an attack. Dead Ringers. So I believe if I bounce one of these guys, it will fizzle. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I think, yeah. I think we just bounce the Griffin and make him have an answer for it. So Dead Ringers is an interesting card. It can be an absolute blowout, but it can also just be a dead draw. So it's really you need to play it in the right decks, I think. And I often will use it more of as a like very strong sideboard card than as a main deck card. It's like on average gonna be effective a little less often than say Hunting Drake. And I think Hunting Drake you can main deck almost always. But Dead Ringers, I don't think you can main deck always. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what to do here. I think this is a situation where it's just like, okay, if we keep Honor Guard, then it's just going to make his life tougher. But I think with all the green fat, it's like, let's make him have a spider, right? Let's make him have a spider. Nope. Okay, so we went for that, and it does look. I think I didn't know what was going to happen, so I decided to save Honor Guard, and with Power Armor, I think, we're fine. But I would rather have saved now, knowing what I know now, which I guess I probably didn't know at the time. I thought maybe I was going to fizzle it, and then I was like, oh, Razor. If I fizzle it, then Razorfoot will kill him next turn. I think that was probably the idea, but we don't have double red, otherwise he'd just be dead right now. Or no, we need triple red, I guess. Triple red would do it. But I guess we can. Oh, this is so dangerous. This is so dangerous. Don't do it. Don't do it past self. Yeah, this is like, I mean, it's good to consider these plays. It's like, okay, we could win right now on the spot, but he does still have 2 cards in hand. And it's like, you could end up in a situation where it's like, you do this, he has something. I mean, I guess the idea is that he'd have to kill Coalition Honor Guard as well. Yeah, no, maybe he can't have anything here. What would he need to have? What would he need to have? Okay, maybe I'm smart. Maybe I'm smart. I got scared when I saw this, but I realized. But if he sacks that for mana, no. Yeah, I just got. I don't know. You'd have to have Jolt with kicker, I guess. But we're still sacking. Yeah, Jolt. He would have needed Jolt with kicker, I believe, would have been what he needed there. So okay, that was a fairly easy game one. This guy just didn't really draw a whole lot, and we drew some hits. But I think this is a matchup in which I could side in Implode. For instance, I think Implode and Planeswalker's Fury would both be good cards, but they are in my splash color. Confound is viable, but yeah, I think this guy just didn't show me enough where I want to make a bunch of big changes where I don't really know what he has. So yeah, I think standing pat is perfectly fine. And Implode again, we don't know exactly what his like splash colors are or anything like that. So want to be a little more confident and maybe want it to be a little more thematic. Uh, I think Implode can be a very good card in the right decks, but I'm not sure my deck is the right deck. All right, so this time he's got. Oh yeah, he's gonna have all the colors again pretty quickly. Yeah, Dream Thrush is another nice one to get. If he didn't have Mana Silence here, I mean, obviously he wouldn't have been able to cast Dream Thrush without it, but I think it would be a consideration to actually kill Dream Thrush. All right, he's got the Moraine as well. He's got this guy. So he's got almost too much mana fixing and not enough bombs, or at least that's the way he's drawing so far. All right, so he goes after the plains. And we draw another one, which I do think we're going to have to play because we need to get a Roar Griffin out there. The only question is they start going after Island after that? He probably does. At which point we may need to take out Dream Thrush because we need to get our Snid down. But he's I don't know. Yeah, I think if I'm him, I'm going after Island because the red mana is mainly going to be for removal spells, but the blue mana can be for creatures. Okay, looks like we are tapping for recoil once again. This recoil is not standing. I mean, we don't have that much pressure yet. I think he's maybe a little premature in using this. Unless he thinks he's just going to beat me down. I don't know what his hand is, but it would be weird if he just thought he was going to beat me down. Unless he has like Jolt with kicker, or Rushing River next, Repulse. I guess that's what I'd want. I'd want to have Repulse, and then I'd want to have something else. Okay. Oh, he's gonna double. I see what's going on here. Okay, that's okay. All right, not bad, sir. Not bad. I forgot that. Yeah, that guy can do forest as well. So this guy's got that mana denial. I like it. Yeah, I think here we just drop Snid, and then he can't really do the mana denial anymore. So, yeah, we'll take him off of that. That was an interesting little plan, though. Roar Griffin probably could have been getting in for some damage. All right, so he's not on green yet, but he has access to everything, of course. And then Terminal Moraine will get him whatever card he wants. Looks like he's going to go ahead and use green right now. And what are we getting? Looks like it is going to be Temporal Spring on the Snid. Okay, and then we're going to deny getting that guy back into play. Not bad. Yeah, you can actually build these like quasi land destruction / mana denial decks. Okay, am I getting annoyed to the point where I'm like ready to strafe one of these guys? Is the question. I think I want to do Dream Thrush. I mean, I guess it doesn't totally matter. Dream Thrush could become relevant later in the game because of the flying, which I think makes it slightly superior versus just a 2/2 guy. But yeah, okay. We're gonna go again. I think it's good to just stay patient here. Like we might need strafe for something else, but oh, patience be damned. Okay, that's not gonna get our C-Snit out there, but he can't. He's gonna be a little tough to cast things for him because I do believe He's probably playing green as a more primary color. Ooh, Dwarven Patrol. That is a big boy there. All right, he's probably going to take me off island once again. Yep. And we might have to hobble that guy, honestly. I don't know if I want to trade Aurora Griffin. I think I'd rather just get to my second island or some of my better cards. Yeah, I think just hobble that guy and then hopefully, we're able to get Snid down at some point. Okay, we got our second island, and we have Rocket Disciple who can fly Sea Snid. All right, for some reason I'm holding up. I guess it makes him bog down with Kicker. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. So now if he bogged me down, I could just discard the lands and keep Sea Snid. If he bogs down with Kicker, it puts him in just a dire situation in terms of his lands. He's clearly a little short on mana once again. At least on the mana that he wants. He could have used Terminal Moraine at any point, but he has opted to just try to tamp down on my mana. More so, or use that. Oh, Probe with Kicker. That is certainly a strong card. I'm kind of sad, none of the drafts that I did not go 5-color green once. And I'm a little sad about that. I'm sure I had the opportunity, but it's something you really have to be like, you have to pounce on it at the right moment. Like there has to come like Harrow or Fertile Ground or something, and you just have to know, like, okay, this is the moment that I go for it. And I'll be honest, I did not see a lot of Harrows in my drafts. Because I do like that card. I do like Harrow, and I didn't have too many opportunities at it. And when I did, usually there was another really good card in the pack. All right, Helionaut solves just. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, yeah, that guy can still block. Okay. Helionaut solves all our problems now. Now we will not be short of any color mana. We're just going to have Helionaut. Aurora Griffin's activated ability comes into play rarely, and I don't think this is going to be one of the games where it does, but it can be used. It can be useful. It's not like a completely dead ability. Ooh, Savage Gorilla. Savage Gorilla, that's a good one. So that guy we will need to get rid of. He's taking us off of Sea-Snid. That's fine, because guess what? We can use Helionaut instead. So you have successfully prevented 1 damage to yourself, sir. Yeah, I think just play Sea-Snid out, make him use Savage Gorilla, and just keep getting in for 2. I mean, he has to either take out Sea-Snid or take out Aurora Griffin, which I guess he might take out Aurora Griffin, but then we just fly Sea-Snid. So I think it's probably you have to let Aurora Griffin live and take out the Snid. We just start flying that guy and hitting for 3, it's gonna be even faster. But it's kind of wild to me that he hasn't actually found the time to sacrifice Terminal Moraine to this point. Like he's been playing stuff every turn, but it's just not been anything that impactful, which is surprising because my draw is not super strong. Okay, so he takes out Aurora Griffin instead. Finds a natural for us now. I think we'll probably be seeing Terminal Moraine get sacked this time around. Yeah, we're still just going to be getting in for 4 in the air. I think we don't need to play. Okay, he plays another one. Yeah, I mean, I think just fly Sea-Snid. I think just fly Sea-Snid. Make him have an answer. I mean, we're hitting for 4. So yeah, I mean, it's great to get Razorfin Hunter into play, but ultimately, I think it's more important to just get the damage through now. We could even just, hold back Helionaut and get Razorfin Hunter down that way. Yeah, there we go. That's probably the way to do it. Now it's just on a 3-turn clock. 3.5 turn clock. All right. It's up to him to have something. He's got to have answers. So yeah, I mean, this guy had the right mana fixing, but he just didn't draw the bombs, is what I'm guessing. And that can happen. That's one of the downsides of playing these 5-color green decks. Is like he's been able to cast everything that he wants to cast, but you just got to have the right stuff to cast as well. That's the other issue there. But yeah, if you're gonna play green, 5-color green is definitely one of the better ones. Otherwise, I'd say blue, green, black is really good. That's probably the one that I'd say is actually a little bit more desirable. Pack 3, you can just really, really, really load up in pack 3 if you're in those colors. You get the blue, green, and the black, green stuff. But leading up to it, it's like you have to kind of get into the blue, black, and then find the right green, like the right green here and there. So it can be a little tricky to pull off. The Honor Guard is going to try and protect everybody. Of course, it doesn't cost 5 mana. We don't need to do that. You can do it that way. Keep up both abilities. Rocket Disciple. And yeah, now it's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he needs to have here. Route? I don't think I saw Route this entire time when I did all the draw. Obviously, I didn't open it, but I also didn't have anybody cast it against me. I did have a lot of people cast bombs against me, though. A lot of Flame Tongue Kabus and Death Grasp. People had Dragons, Anavolver, double kicked. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff we went up against, but no Route. Pernicious Deed, somebody had Factor Fiction. Actually, I got Factor Fiction and Pernicious Deed in the same deck. That was a sick one. All right, I think this guy's going to have to pack it in. As you can see me mousing over Coalition Honor Guard saying, yeah, what are you going to do about Coalition Honor Guard? There's not a whole lot to be done here. All right, am I going to remember to ping with Razorfin Hunter? Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. There are things to be done. Yeah, you got it, dude. That's a pretty good one there. Double kick Nightscape Battle Mage. Looks like he's gonna bounce 2 creatures and kill my island. So if he bounces Razorfin Hunter, well, I don't think it's gonna matter at the end of the day. I hate to say it because we can still play it back out with Helionaut, and I think really we're just gonna use. Oh, he got rid of Ceasenit actually. Okay. Yeah, I think that gives him a little bit more time. That was probably smart. Yeah, he got rid of the fixers. And then I was going to try to take me off white so I can't play Helionaut. That's what's going to happen. Oh, all right. Well, Nightscape Battle Mage with Kicker was the one we didn't see coming. That was pretty nice. That was well done by my opponent. This guy, he's putting up quite a fight here for not having drawn very well. He's definitely not making this one easy to close out. Of course, we just naturally draw the planes for Helionaut, and we're right back in business. Also, the pinger. I mean, he's on a straight up 6-turn clock if he doesn't handle Razorfin Griffin, and provided I remember to use Razorfin Griffin's ability. I feel like I should have done that in response to the Nightscape Battle Mage to make sure I didn't forget. I didn't even notice if I did or not. All right, terminate. Goodbye, Coalition Honor Guard friend. Yeah, that's a good one to rip. Pretty sure he would have used that earlier at some point if he had it. Okay, this is getting a lot more interesting. I thought I had this one in the bag. Things have shifted. Things have shifted a little bit here. All right, he's debating what he wants to do. I mean, you can't stop me from casting Ceasenit, so I think the right play for him here would be to attack because oh, he's got a Ceasenit of his own. Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's hit him for 1. Man, this guy's definitely got the mana denial. Well, I think that's probably gonna put an end to things. Zanam Jin is about to be large and in charge. This man is a 5/6 flyer, and if you have 0 cards in hand, you're gonna have to rip something right off the top of your deck in order to win this game, sir. And even if you do, that means you have not successfully answered Razorfin Hunter, who is going to take you out. in 5 turns, and with the help of Helionaut, a little sooner. So yeah, I would expect it to be, yeah, there's scoop mode from the opponent. Okay. All right, that was a nice one to finish it off. Yeah, we had some good stuff coming up though. Yeah, I mean this, even if we don't get him, we get the Legionnaire and damage to the face. Yeah, so probably could have played this one a little bit better, but overall, yeah, I think we take those wins. Okay, so we're into the third match here, and I made a decision that I actually had remembered to turn my volume on for this one because I recorded it separately. And I realized that I've already done this whole video with, you know, recording the audio after the fact. So I'm just going to keep that continuity. And as you can see here, we have a hand with all islands, but I had looked at my deck beforehand and I decided to keep based on the fact that I have 7 planes in the deck because I had taken a screen capture of my deck. So I was fairly confident that I'd get the mana I needed to cast Razorfoot Griffin by the time we needed to, and 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop is perfectly fine in this format. And we're against a black-white deck. Hopefully not black-white-blue. Black-white-blue Esper can be very good. And he's got just an unkicked Banalish Lancer. That guy's just a Grey Ogre. Nothing to worry about. We got Sparring Golem. We got our own Grey Ogre. Except ours is better on offense than on defense. This guy he's not like a great fit in our deck, to be honest. This is like, you want this guy in like a red-black kind of deck. Okay, he's got Aurora Griffin, which for a moment looked like Razorfoot Griffin because I think I moused over it at just the time he was casting it. Yeah, that was actually kind of funny. So we did manage to find some planes, and yeah, we have all 3 colors, which is fantastic. Found the planes and the mountain, and we get to put out our Razorfoot Griffin, which is going to stop everybody. So I'm still going to be able to get in there. This guy can't even block because the thing with Sparring Golem is he gets +1/+1 if you do block him. So he's going to be getting through. And just passing it back. So it looks like we stabilize the board pretty quickly, and we have the superior flyer. We're going to have the superior ground attacks as well once we get Seasnit out there. And I believe if he double blocked, I think Sparring Golem does get +1/+1 for each creature blocking it. So we'd actually be able to take out both of his blockers, provided he didn't have any tricks. So I'm guessing he is short on a 3rd color, and he does not find that 3rd color yet. So we are in good shape here, and yeah, I mean, this guy's deck has made it to the finals, and these are probably a few of his weaker cards, I would imagine. And I would imagine that his stronger cards might be in a different color that he hasn't managed to draw yet. But he kind of decides to get in there with his flyer, even though he's losing the race by quite a bit, and I don't know if that was a wise idea. And yeah, we have Razorfin Hunter, we have Stand Deliver backup, we've got Strafe coming. I mean, I think this is just over. I'm not sure what exactly he could have here. I guess he could have Death Grasp. Death Grasp for 5 on Razorfoot Griffin. Put him back to 12. So, okay, yeah, the fact that he's still like hitting in is kind of wild to me. Yeah, now this is just over. Again, this is the biggest downside of gating creatures is if you're playing an opponent that has bounce spells, like the tempo is just absurd. So yeah, you're gonna get to see that here. Like basically just, this guy's not gonna get cast again for a while. We have Strafe. Okay, he just scoops. Probably a smart move. I mean, he probably figured he'd have to chunk block there, or else he's dead. So yeah, we didn't even need the strafe technically, but I would have used it. I mean, I just don't think there's anything he could have that would prevent us from winning on that turn. So no reason to give the opponent an extra turn. And just taking a quick look through the sideboard here, is there anything reasonable? I think that shield card is useful every once in a while, but it has to be against the right deck, and we did not see that quite yet from the opponent. So yep, just gonna run it and see what happens here in game 2. So he's debating whether he wants to go first or not. You can see this guy has a 41 card deck. I've done this before myself. In fact, I was contemplating doing it with this deck, I believe. but generally speaking, if you see a 41 card deck, it probably is indicative of somebody that's not like a top level player, um, which I fall into that category, obviously. But I know it's not something you're supposed to do. It messes up the odds, and it generally doesn't help. So, all right, we have 2 planes, and we can cast manacles, but outside of that, we're really not doing a whole lot this game. Our first creature is coming down turn 5. That doesn't look too great. So not that this guy had a turbo deck or anything, but yeah, I think this is just going to be a mulligan. We have a pretty good deck. So this looks good. We got all 3 colors. We have a bomb, multiple bombs. We have a removal spell. Yeah, I think just put back the mountain and, you know, Xanom Jin. We're not casting him anytime soon, but I think, with how many draw steps we're going to have, we'll get to cast him eventually. We just need 3 more lands. And looks like he did choose to go first, which is great. We can cover the card that we mulliganed, and it is a land, which is nice. So, yeah, 3 extremely strong cards to start with. This guy, I don't think is going to have the kind of deck that's capable of getting off to a fast start unless he dropped like Putrid Warrior there. But he did not, so we will gladly just pass the turn. And we have Tribal Flames for anything that would be threatening. Flashback Barrier is going to make all of our creatures insanely good. So as you can see, get to draw a card off it as well. Yeah, I don't know how that one got through how that got through there. Okay, Hobble's another good one. Razorfin Hunter's another good one. So yeah, we're drawing good stuff. He's got a Llanowar Dead, so he's got all 3 of his colors, and he will be able to cast very large things if he would so please. I think the kind of things that you definitely don't want to see would be like Death Mutation, for instance. If he got Death Mutation on Xanom Jin, that would be a complete blowout. All right, he goes for Lay of the Land. So now we'll get to see if he has another color. No, he is going for a forest. That's good news for us. So he's not 5-color green. So that means he's going to be kind of relegated to the good stuff in his 3 colors. And Razorfoot Griffin is a very good one, especially with Lash Knife Barrier. Nothing getting through that guy. Yeah, we'll just drop him out there. We just have 3 really, really solid cards in hand. Just want to hope that this guy doesn't have discard. Hypnotic Cloud here would be devastating for us. I think we'd probably just keep Xanom Jin and try to get it down. Even though it's going to be shrunk, it's still going to be very good. Okay, no, now it will not be shrunk though. So Voice of All, and he doesn't know yet. What did he choose? He chose white, so he wants to stop Razorfoot Griffin, which makes perfect sense. He's using it defensively, but even if he had chosen blue, we have Tribal Flames. But yeah, Xanom Jin is now going to be sized up, and we remember to use our Razorfin Hunter, which is nice. And now we are going to get Xanom Jin out there as a 5/6, and that's just. I mean, this guy is basically as good as some of the top rares that you could pull in the first pack. When he's a 5/6 flying, I mean, the top rares are all a bunch of 6/6 dragons that fly. There's several of them if you're not familiar with this format. 1 for each triple color set, each wedge. I know they all have names, but I think once they came up with those names in Magic, I didn't know. I know it's like Esper and Abzan and yes, yeah, I already lost the thread. Naya and yeah, I can't remember all of them, but there's a name for each of them. But anyway, he finds a Pincer Spider, which is actually a good creature against Xanom Jin. Unfortunately, because he could possibly double block, but he doesn't have enough. No, he doesn't have enough. It's only a 3/4, so 3/4 plus 2, that's only 5, and even with Lash Knight Barrier, yeah, he needs a growth spell if he has a pump spell, but we have Deliver, so even a pump spell is not going to save him here. So yeah, we're just getting in. He's successfully slowed down our Razorfoot Griffin, but we have Goblin Legionnaire, who notably cannot kill Voice of All, but we do have Tribal Flames for that. One of the reasons, oh, this is a nice card, Banalish Heralds. This is a really good one. Not for his particular situation here, because first of all, he doesn't have blue to activate it. And second of all, he's just on the back foot. But in general, that card is like very, very strong. because a lot of games are slow and grindy, and that guy will just get you a massive advantage. He's just doing double duty. He's like blocking, he's preventing some creature from attacking, and then he's also drawing you an extra card every turn. Would love to have that card in my deck. So yeah, it looks like he's just gonna have to chump block at some point with Pincer Spider. The way things are going, it's really hard for him to win this game. Oh wow, nice, consume strength. So he's gonna +2 his spider and -2 our guy, but unfortunately, as mentioned before, we do have the answer. And the answer is deliver, Abstain deliver. So again, yeah, the bounce spells in this format are really, really nice. I don't think bounce spells are always good in every format, but in IPA they tend to really stand out. So yeah, we're gonna cancel all that. We don't need our guy to die. I mean, technically we could have even used the other mode, but then his Pincer Spider would still be in play. It doesn't get killed. I mean, we could have. Yeah, I mean, look, we have removal if we want to use it, but that's not. Yeah, I think that was better than the damage prevention route. But I don't think would he have even died though, because he would have been a 4. Yeah, it's dealing 5 because Lash Knife prevents 1. So yeah. But then with my pinger, I'm dealing 3. I guess I could have killed Pincer Spider outright. Maybe that was a better play to just kill it outright. Because with the pinger we could do that. And then he's just got a chump block with the angel. But yeah, I mean, I think he's already getting into chump block territory. Yeah, I'm not convinced that I played this game correctly, but I think we have such a big advantage on the board. It's hard to imagine. Again, he needs route. He needs some kind of wrath effect. I think even planar despair would not save him because Jin survives it. Oh, recovering Voice of All, and then Voice of All on blue, I would assume. But unfortunately, we have we have Legionnaire and Tribal Flames. Like, he's just dead next turn. I think we just use Legionnaire, kill Voice of All, and get in. So yeah, this just gives us 1 extra damage. But yep, I mean, oh wait, he still has Pincer Spider. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. But it would be over if he blocks the Griffin. So yeah, we'll just put max pressure. He is going to block the Griffin, and unfortunately for him, we do have a mountain and we do have a Tribal Flames, and that's going to be going to the face. What are we doing here? Wait, did I already play a land for the turn? Alien? Okay, what's happening? What is going on here? Tribal Flames to the face. Oh, I think I was debating if he could have Pollen Remedy or something else like that. That's right, but he does not. So we win, and that is another one in the books for us. I believe this was the second trophy win that we got there. So good stuff.